Action and welcome back to Barstool Baseball. We're here for the AL East 2023 preview. And before we get into it, I want to thank Rob Manfred for personally sponsoring today's show. Rob's a huge fan of what we do here at Barstool Sports. I'm being dead. You guys don't think Rob called me. He was like, make sure you get the previews out on time, Carl. I'm joined by two resident experts. Thank you very much for joining us. On the far right, I've got Hubbs, our editor-in-chief and resident Yankees fan. Hubbs, thank you so much for finding time on your busy schedule. You're one of the busiest guys I talk to on a daily basis.
Yeah, I blocked like 6 minutes out today for you, so that's all you got.
We're going to move quick. And next to him is obviously RDT, our Orioles expert. A great dichotomy here because Hubbs is our editor-in-chief, full-time baseball guy. RDT, you work a full-time job and blog at night still. One of like the classic parts of Barstool.
It's one of the best. It's the old school method.
Do you want to say what company you work for, what you do before we get into this?
No, we'll keep that private.
I like that. I appreciate it. All right, guys, we have a slate of topics we're going to get into. This is all AL East generated. You guys are the resident experts when it comes to the AL East at Barstool. So let's just get into it real quick. Division winner.
I'm going Blue Jays. I picked Blue Jays last year. I thought they would have gotten off to a better start. They didn't. They obviously fired their manager, turned everything around. I just think they're super talented. Their pitching staff is probably 1A to the Yankees 1B, maybe even a little better. I mean, the names they have up there are unbelievable. A healthy Vlad, I don't know how they don't just mash the ball up there in that ballpark. I think the Blue Jays win it, the division easy.
The Yankees are going back-to-back in the division. They won 99 games last year. They have Aaron Judge still. They have Garrett Cole. They brought in Carlos Rodon. I wish they added to the lineup because Josh Donaldson is still my third baseman. And somehow, some godforsaken way, Aaron Hicks is my starting left fielder at the moment. The way they're going to get a lot better is this infusion of youth. Oswald Peraza, Oswaldo Cabrera, Anthony Volpe, maybe Jason Dominguez. All those things are good. If the bullpen should be really good. Michael King avoided Tommy John. Excellent. The Yankees are the best team in this division. And if they don't win, it's their own fault. That's it.
Now, this is what I have the Yankees too for completely different, less passionate reasons where you want to go through like the depth chart. I'll just say this. The Yankees are going to win 55 games at home. They're going to break even on the road. They're going to be 97, 98. It's going to be something around there. And it's such a competitive division. By far the best division in baseball. So who do you guys have coming in last place?
It is an easy one. I think it's the Red Sox. I think they had an awful offseason. They didn't add anybody. They lost Xander. They lost JD. They're bringing back Chris Sale, who's thrown like 3 innings the last 5 years. They didn't get better at all. I mean, they didn't add one single person, I think, to get better. I mean, they got the guy from overseas, whatever. He's not going to replace Xander. I think, again, they're going to be in the basement again, and I think everybody at this company is going to love to see it.
Corey Kluber is their opening day starter. The Boston Red Sox rotation is Kluber, Sale, Pivetta, Houck, and Cutter Crawford. I have no idea the direction Chaim Bloom is doing. Any good player they ever bring in, sans Rafael Devers, they had to pay him, but everyone else is just gone from the team that, like, I thought was, at least lineup-wise, was going to compete for a long time with the core they had. Nope, Chaim Bloom said, see you later. I have no idea what the Red Sox are doing. The only reason they don't finish in last is if the Orioles take a little bit of step back because they didn't add anyone for some reason. But other than that, Boston's the last place team.
Don't you do that to Baltimore. I'm going to say this about Boston. I think John Henry should be in prison for what he did to the core of every person who's ever been good for that team. But it's not about them. I think the Blue Jays are too good. I think the Blue Jays are simply, and I know this is a weird thing to say, I just think the Blue Jays are too good on paper. You see super teams in baseball all the time. They just fall apart. And they're like one Vlad Guerrero hamstring or like a bad Bo Bichette back away. I'm not sold on the Blue Jays until they like win playoff series and do shit for me. I have much more on the Blue Jays later. For now, though, let's just go best hitter. This one's so fucking easy. We cannot disagree about this. It's Aaron Judge for me. Quick, please.
I don't know. I'm going Adley. He's unbelievable. He had an awful year last year as a right-handed batter, but guess what? His track record, he's going to rebound. He's going to be unbelievable. I think pure hitter. I think he's up there. I think he's the best hitter in the division.
It's a take that should find you in jail. Aaron Judge is the best hitter in the division, in the league. He'll probably go back-to-back. I mean, he gets better every year. The only fear, and I'll get to this later in one of the topics we have, the only fear I have is not playing for that contract anymore. That would be the only fear I have. But other than that, he is as complete of a hitter as you can get. He's limited the strikeouts. He's just impossible to pitch to. I just don't understand how you pitch Aaron Judge, especially if Rizzo is healthy. Stanton has a bounce back year because he probably can't play any worse. You surround him with good pieces and maybe these young guys. Aaron Judge is the best hitter in this division.
And he hits for average, and he hits for power, and he's healthy, and he plays hard, and he's a good-looking guy. He's like Aaron Judge does not get credit enough for checking all of those stupid old school boxes that back from after the dead ball era in like the 1930s that made people like he's that type of guy that would have made you get on a train, travel day and fucking night. RDT. All right, best pitcher again. I'm sorry, I'll be quick with this one. As long as he's alive, Chris Sale's the best pitcher in any division. I know. I don't give a fuck. I don't. There's something about even right now. If he had to pitch right-handed, he's just a gangster. I have to, as long as I love.
He hurt his right hand if he had to pitch right-handed.
Well said. Well fucking said. Push back on me. I'm sorry. Who are your best pitchers?
I got, again, another former Oriole. I'm going Kevin Gausman, guy who bounced around to Cincinnati and Atlanta, and they didn't want him. He goes to the Giants and has an unreal year. Going up north, second year in Toronto, I think he's really going to find his stuff. Again, with all those guys around him, I mean, you got to face it. I think he's awesome. I think he's going to be really good. Again, they're renovating the ballpark. I think he's just a really good pitcher. He's actually found his stuff now. I think he's going to dominate this year.
I almost went Alek Manoah, but with the new pitch clock stuff and how quick he's going to have to pitch, he's too fat to be good now. I'm sorry. He's going to be too tired. I don't think he makes it through a full season. Alek Manoah is as good of a competitor as it gets. I like the fire he brings. I think he's too fat for the pitch clock. My answer is not a starting pitcher. It's not Garrett Cole. It's not Carlos Rodon. It probably would have been if he was healthy at the moment, but he's not going to start the year healthy. So it's Michael King. Michael King is so nasty. Everything that man delivers is ridiculous. Him healthy, coming out of the pen again, a 2-inning weapon, a guy you could bring in any part of the game. You want to open with him? You want to bring 6 to 7, 8 to 9? You want him to close? He's ridiculous. He's healthy. Thank God he didn't have Tommy John because my mental capacity just couldn't handle that. Michael King, you are my best pitcher in this division. Do not fail me.
And you know what? Thank you very much, Hubbs, because this is what a passionate Yankees fan should do, is come in here and give light to someone that nobody else is talking about. You're all fired up about a guy who's pitching the 7th inning after Carlos Rodon went out and threw fucking 7 scoreless. It's a great pick, and this is why I want to talk to you about the Yankees. This is why I want to talk to you about the A's. What about breakout candidates? Mine's an Oriole, so I should just turn over to RDT. I have Gunnar Henderson. I don't know what position he plays. He's on the left side of the infield. I know that. Motherfucker rakes.
Guns up, baby. Gunnar is. I think he's going to be unbelievable this year. You can put him at third. He's going to be a Gold Glove defender there. You can put him at short. Going to be a Gold Glove defender there. He can play anywhere. He was a little shaky at second last year, but again, he was a rookie. I mean, he was unbelievable. The poise that he has. He's almost hitting the warehouse as a rookie last year. I cannot wait. Again, you want to talk about an all-American golden child boy? I mean, he looks like sunshine. He's got the long, flowing blonde hair. This guy's a stud. He was going to go to Auburn. They scooped him up. Could have gone and played basketball. Could have gone and played football. Kid's just an all-around athlete. You can put him anywhere, and he's gonna hit. He's gonna field. He's gonna win at least a couple of Gold Gloves, and he's gonna hit the shit out of the ball this year.
That's your breakout too, I would assume.
Gunnar Henderson's a great player. RDT, I think, would just, if there's any Oriole in the conversation, he would pick them to save the universe. Let's just be real. So I'm not going to go Gunnar Henderson. And he is fantastic. And he is definitely a Rookie of the Year candidate and an MVP candidate in the future. Fantastic. Clark Schmidt is my guy. Clark Schmidt, we already have 2 starting pitchers hurt already. Carlos Rodon and Frankie Montas just aren't in the rotation. That inserts, finally, Clark Schmidt to have the job going forward as a piece in this rotation. He added a cutter that is giving lefties absolute fits of the plate. It's his time to shine. Clark Schmidt asserts his dominance into the Yankees rotation this year and becomes a mainstay. And he's no longer in the trade conversations and always a bust. No. It's Clark Schmidt's time. Gunnar Henderson, very good. Clark Schmidt's time.
And as a biased outsider, I want to give obviously a ton of credit to Masataka Yoshida. I can't say the name. It's Yoshida. Whatever. Dude's legit. And I know we made fun of the Red Sox rotation, like get in Heim and all this stuff. Like, we should be reasonable just for a sliver to accept the fact that he's a smart guy It's his job. He probably has some kind of plan that goes longer than a week or two, or his head isn't in his butt cheeks. I don't want to be too mean about we talk about breakout stars. So I don't want to just gloss over this. Now, when I say the Rays too, with their breakout star is someone no one's ever heard of that has already spent a decade in a foreign league you don't follow, that's going to hit 30 home runs in 450 plate appearances. So if we're glossing over some other people, I know a lot of people are saying, hey, you're missing this guy, that guy. There's a lot of names to cover. Let's get negative about it. Regression candidates. I have one that's easy for me, and it's Shane McClanahan. And I'm sorry. It's just very good Rays pitchers get hurt after being dominant in their career. That's just the regression fact. Sorry, Shane. And I don't want to predict. I don't want to say Shane's going to get injured. I'm not even saying Shane should get injured and nothing like that. But if you're a good young Rays pitcher, you're going to get fucked in the long run. I'm sorry. Who do you guys have for regression?
Again, I'm not all positive here. I think my regression guy is Anthony Santander. Guy hit 33 home runs last year, 89 RBIs, came on super strong in September. I just think he may end up getting squeezed out. He may end up getting traded, and it's just because the Orioles have so much depth. I mean, he's a freak. He's a switch hitter. He was a Gold Glove candidate in 2020. You've seen him make the plays in the World Baseball Classic this year. I just don't know if he can repeat it just because I don't know if he's going to get all the at-bats. I think he's going to be limited. The Orioles just have so many weapons and bullets that someone's going to have to sit. They've tried him at first base a little bit. He's going to DH. So, again, I just don't know if he's going to get to those numbers if you want to count that as a regression. But, again, I don't think he's going to completely drop off, but I don't know if we'll see those numbers again.
I hate what I'm about to do. Eric in 10 minutes is going to realize he said this and just punch himself in the face. My pick is Aaron Judge. You hit 62 home runs. If he hits 55, that's regression, right? I mean, it's just so hard to do that season again. If he hits 50, he could win the MVP easily with 50 home runs. That's still a regression. I don't know how he could not regress. If he doesn't regress, and this is wrong, I'll have maniacal laughter forever. But how does he not regress a little bit? Plus, not playing for the contract. He got the contract already. Did get the captaincy, so there is reason to play. Now, he's still trying to win the World Series for the first time. But my pick's Aaron Judge.
I hope this is I hope people just have a moment here to respect you because that it just takes a lot. It takes a lot. Let's ride the Yankee train for a second. Surprise story is a category I love to talk about going into season openers. My surprise story for the AL East is Anthony Rizzo's 43 home runs. You think RDT's biased? Why don't you bring one of those 2016 Cubs into my house? I'm telling you right now, Anthony Rizzo, if the back is healthy, if the Yankees stuck him with something, if he wants to get the contract, he is hell-bent on getting to $120 million. Now, this is where I get long-winded, long in the tooth. I'm sorry. I'm going to turn over to you guys. I like Rizzo hitting 43 big ones this year. I like him over 40 homers. I like Rizzo to have a monster, one of those years you go back on Baseball Reference later and you're like, what the fuck? Why did he have career year? Who knows? It's about to happen.
You're loyal to your guys. I'm staying loyal to mine. Adley Rutschman, top 5 MVP finish in the books. Stamp it. I think he's too good. I think he plays a premium position. He's going to play unbelievable defense. He'll probably win a Gold Glove. I'm not sure won Rookie of the Year over J-Rod last year, but he had an incredible rookie season. I think he's only going to get better. He's still learning. He's still growing. He's a house. He is massive this year. I don't think 40 home runs is out of the question with the way he looks right now. I think he's going to be an absolute monster this year. Top 5 MVP finish.
Chaim Bloom's getting fired midseason. He is sneaky, had one of the worst GM tenures in sports history. He got literally zero for Mookie Betts. One of the prospects that he got for Mookie Betts is just off the team already because he's so bad. Jeter Downs didn't turn out to be Derek Jeter, turns out. Traded Hunter Renfroe, who was great for them, for Jackie Bradley Jr. Didn't even entertain bringing back Schwarber. Bogarts, $100 million less. They were so far off with Bogarts, it made no sense. They have zero players that are good anymore besides Devers. Chaim Bloom, and Henry has kind of dropped the tea leaves a little bit in what he said, this is a big year for Bloom. If they start off bad, I don't know if they fire Cora first, or because he is respectable, even though I hate the Astros and all that and the Red Sox, but he's respectable at least. Chaim Bloom is a moron, and he will be fired.
Passion. As I'm sitting here saying the guy's head's not too far up his butt cheeks. One of the worst GMs of all time. Okay, how about this? This is a favorite. We're in the bottom of the 8th. Here's a great topic for you guys. Worst, whatever you want to talk about. And I know this is kind of weird, so I'll just take it from the top. Worst, whatever. I think that Alex Manoah wearing number 6 is the worst. You're a big guy. You got an opportunity to represent a big number. A lot of big guys have to wear big numbers. You can go out there and rep big guys hard. And what does he do? He tries and enjoys the middle infield crowd wearing number 6. Now, he's nasty. He's filthy. He's got great stuff. Competes deep in the ball games. But Alek Manoah wearing number 6 to me is a tragedy to fat guys everywhere. You brought him up earlier as being a big guy, Hubbs. Kind of tough to get through a full season, competing with the pitch count. I'm going to say it's tough wearing number 6 and being that big, too. Is his 6 the same size? If I was number 6, are we wearing the same size 6? He's such a big fucking guy. I think it's the worst that he's 6 and he's not like 67 and fucking throwing love to 67s across the world. That's the fucking worst in the AL East.
He should be 66. My worst, I'm going just the Orioles ownership in general. The debacle that we had, again, Hubbs, you talked about it, not really adding anyone. Mike Elias said, hey, we're going to do liftoff. And then we got James McCann. That was fun. And then, again, I mean, you're doing a press conference on Martin Luther King Day, John Angelos, and then you say, I'm not here to talk about baseball when you scheduled the press conference and he got mad at reporters for asking questions. Plus, there's all the rumors about the team moving. They're not moving. I guarantee you they're not. And you can squash this all by just signing a lease. We want to stay in Camden Yards. It's the best ballpark in the country. Keep them here. Stop screwing things up. Don't make this a Washington R-word football team Commanders situation.
I went worst rotation. You won't believe it. The Boston Red Sox. Corey Kluber, opening day starter, is so embarrassing for that team with the money they have to spend and all that. Nope. Chris Sale is technically, I guess, the one, but they're like choosing to not. Cora said something like he wants them to appreciate opening day or something like that. Whatever that means. He'll be hurt in 2 weeks. Nick Pivetta stinks. Tanner Houck is more of a reliever than a starter. Cutter Crawford spells his name with a K. He's not even a real C. Cutter. And, Bello is supposed to be, nice. I haven't seen anything that looks good from him. James Paxton hasn't pitched in a decade. I have no idea what they're planning. They have no plan of attack, no direction. I don't think they want to win baseball games. The worst rotation in baseball because of the worst GM in baseball, Heimblum.
All right, we're going to close negative. We start on negative. We start positive. We close negative. The reason we close negative on these previews is because for all of us, except for fucking one team will be happy at the end of the year. Most of us are miserable throughout a baseball season. So let's just be miserable as we end this. Who's the biggest asshole in the AL East? Let's start with RDT.
I am double dipping and I am going John Angelos. Again, for all the reasons I named. The guy just cannot stop. We've talked about it a lot, sticking his head so far up his ass. It's been bad. It's great. It's bad. He can fix it all. I'll say this. He will not be my biggest asshole if we get like a 7 to 8 year extension for Adley sometime soon. So get it done and you'll be off my list.
Delusional. I mean, you really are sometimes, to be honest with you. He needs to sell the fucking team is what he needs to do. Hubbs.
Biggest assholes, Brian Cashman. How is Aaron Hicks my left fielder with a serious face? Like that guy should, I don't care whatever money he has remaining his contract, should have been DFA. Josh Donaldson can't do anything anymore. IKF, he's not going to be a factor this year. He should be traded, I hope, in like a week or two. But he was the starter all year last year, and they just called him the best, like one of the best defenders in all the league. He was terrible. He's atrocious. They're trying him out in center field, for Christ's sake. I don't understand it. He's given all this giant payroll, almost $300 million, and they don't come close to winning the World Series. So Brian Cashman is my asshole. If you start Anthony Volpe on opening day, which you won't because you're an asshole, but if you do, I will retract this a little bit. But you're not going to do that, and you're going to be an asshole.
Thank you, Hubbs. That's exactly what I'm looking for. I got my biggest asshole was Alek Manoah because he wears number 6, but then I backtracked. I was like, you know what? I'm going to make that my worst. My biggest asshole is Stu Sternberg with the Tampa Rays. That son of a bitch stole money from his partners and fucking he's, when you say asshole and you mean it like that guy's a bad guy, he squeezed out all his partners so that he could have control of the Rays. They go to the playoffs every year. They're extremely competitive. You're in the middle of the floor. They spend no money. Whatever. The Orioles can sell. This guy's not selling. This guy's not going anywhere. This guy's the biggest fucking scumbag. I kind of respect it, though, and that's where I want to close. When we say asshole, It replaces a famous term that you can't use. The algorithm will shut me down if I use the other term, but it's famous in baseball, and there's notes of respect behind it. When I say you're an asshole, I don't mean, you're an asshole, you're a bad person. It's like, yeah, you are a bad person, but like at the end of the day, like you own the race, man. Like you're an asshole. You're kind of a dude. You got to be a dude to be an asshole. So
He's trying to get him to play in Canada as well as Tampa.
yeah, this guy's just like a Bond villain. Like if James Bond was like, we should make a sports movie, what would the villain look like? They would go right to the Tampa Bay Rays and they'd follow his ass around. It's pathetic how mean that guy is. We went a little bit longer, but we had a better discussion than I thought. So I want to thank you guys. This is the AL East preview. This is one of many previews you're doing. You're going to hear from Hubbs a lot this year. You're going to hear from RDT a lot this year. Our handles are in our tagline, so you can see, you've been looking at our handles all the time. So just look these handles up on the social media platforms to follow us. Subscribe to all the shit that we do on Barstool Baseball. We got like 20 guys chipping in this year to just throw in as much content as we can. And like I said, thank you guys very much. To me, you guys represent two wildly amazing spectrums or ends of the spectrum of Barstool Sports. The full-time blogger going home at night, and obviously Hubbs, Syracuse grad. You're our editor-in-chief.
That I am. RDT can't publish a blog unless I say yes.
And RDT's got to go to work tomorrow. Sorry, that's a joke. That's me. Dude, you know what I'm trying to do here. Don't be fucking... All right, we got to go. Go subscribe to our stuff. Coming up next is the AL Central preview. Go subscribe to the channel so you get the AL Central preview.